All right, good morning, everyone. We will start our media availabilities for today. We have William Byron, driver of the number 24 Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports. If you have a question for William, go ahead and raise your hand, and we will get a wireless mic to you. We will start with Kelly and then go to Bob.
Morning. Kelly Crandall, Racer.com. Two things, William. First off, the Chevy body seems like it's been a work in progress for you guys to kind of get a handle on. Is it a balance thing? Is it a feel that you would say you're fighting the most, or what's been the characteristic that you have felt behind the wheel from last year to this year?
Yeah, it's I felt like when we started the year with I guess just the tracks we went to and sort of the track temperature, I didn't notice a huge difference, but there was a few differences on corner entry, and it's just really a balance. It's an aero balance basically, and a big change there. It's really no secret. So I think you're just trying to solve for that, and the faster places you go and different rules packages make different downforce, and just creates a lot of different things. So I think the biggest thing is, it's not that the car is deficient or anything like that. It's just the fact that you had a notebook for 4 years, I guess, of the next gen since 2022, and now you're trying to basically relearn some of the sensitivities with the car. So just makes it tough. You just got to go to every type of track and just start to trust your tools during the week a little bit more, so that you can just kind of build that.
The second thing I wanted to ask is, as we look, the regular season's winding down, being 12th in points at this juncture, I'm sure is a little surprising, not where you all expected to be. Can you just kind of assess maybe the strengths and weaknesses right now of kind of where you guys stack up?
Yeah, it's been a tough go. I mean, I think kind of along the lines of the body stuff, like we were first in points last year at this time, so just had it figured out, and we've had to relearn, and we've had some really bad luck as well. We've gotten in 3 crashes. Talladega got taken out before the first stage. Watkins Glen got taken out through the bus stop, and then Nashville got in a crash that I didn't feel like was our doing. So, yeah, those 3 DNFs or close to it are just very tough to overcome with this point system. And honestly, the other weeks we don't really start close enough in the first stage to get points. So we've been really unfortunate too with the fact that qualifying's been rained out when we've had a bad metric. Like we crashed in a couple of those races, and then Charlotte gets rained out for qualifying. And it's just, there's a lot of excuses you can make, but I think the biggest thing is we're just trying to learn things. And I feel like we're on the cusp of some really good things that could come this weekend. I feel like Michigan showed some really good promise, and feel like it's right there. And I honestly feel like from about 6th to where we are in points is really achievable. So you just go on a run and start scoring points, and you never know what can happen. So last year we were averaging, I think, 36 to 38 points a race. So it was our bad weeks were better than even last week. So I think we just got to get back to that.
We'll go to Bob.
Do you go and ask about Christopher Bell's car and how it reacted in that wreck, or do you wait for NASCAR to come to you and give you info?
Yeah, I don't really get too involved in that. I feel like everyone on social was very, surprised that the frame cracked, but the frame cracked for us at the front clip broke for us at Talladega just with a right front impact. So they're meant to do that. So, it was obviously a huge impact. I think I was just concerned in the moment that Christopher was okay, and it was great to see him get out. Obviously, his wrist injury is unfortunate, and just want to be able to race against someone like Bell. I feel like a lot of people have a lot of respect for him, and I think that's where the outreach came from. And anyone that would get in a crash like that, people would be concerned for. But I'll just kind of watch it from afar. I wouldn't say I'm not concerned, but it's not anything that is going to change the way that I approach the weekend.
And do you look at it as like, you don't want anybody to be injured, but considering how hard a crash and coming out with a broken wrist as the only real main injury. Is that, I don't want to say acceptable, but is that like, you're like, okay, that's understandable?
Um, I don't know how to answer that. I feel like I had this conversation. Like you wouldn't see a guy in Gen 6 overcorrect, and like you wouldn't see that kind of crash as violent as that was with Gen 6. So you're seeing that crash because of the nature of the tire and the aero and everything with these cars. So um, it's a violent impact. Fortunately, the car is capable of taking that, and Christopher was able to get out, so that's a good thing. But that impact to me is way larger than what we would have had in the past with a bigger sidewall and a different tire. So you got to think about it on both sides of the coin because yeah, the car took it, but yeah, I think that wreck was caused because of the nature of this car.
We'll go to Steve.
William, Steve Post, Motor Racing Network, have practice and qualifying coming up. How do you, through simulation, project what the track might be? The bumps in the tunnel turn, the bumps off from turn number one. How do you guys assess for that and kind of prepare for that to try to get your best starting spot off the rollback?
Yeah, it's you just kind of take what you had last year. There's really no way to there's no way to predict, like when we get here, there's no way to predict like whether the resin has started to wash off the track, which it looks like it has, or the seams in the asphalt are starting to grow, which it looks like. All those things I pretty much just watched the ARCA race last night laying in bed and was like, okay, the track looks a little bit, rougher than it did last year, and aged a bit more. So, but outside of that, there's nothing we can do. On the sim side, we take what we had last year. We try to run that, try to get that balance to what it was last year, what the notes said, and then you try to build on that for this year's car. So far so good in simulation. So, but yeah, it does look like the track is a little bit older than it was last year.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
We'll go to Jeff.
I don't know if you've had any more time to do San Diego prep this week at all on the sim, but just between this week and last week, we got our first look at what it looks like on iRacing and stuff, and man,
Yeah.
it's looks like quite a tricky course. So, how do you think that race is going to play out with as narrow it is at some points, and as with many turns as it has, and with all the unknowns and the bumpiness and the roughness? I mean, do you have any sense of what that could look like for the field?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a sense in how it's going to race, but I did do sim on Tuesday, and it took me a good 45 minutes to an hour to learn the track and figure out which turn was coming up next. So I think there's still some room to go. Like the middle of the course is very difficult. Like it's a lot of open sections. There's a lot of there's just a lot of open space that is really not used. So I think you're going to see a lot of passing opportunities through there. Like you're going to see dive bombs because you can give up an exit just to get position on someone, but they might be able to kind of make a run back at you. So it's tough. It's visually is difficult because you're just trying to figure out what corner is coming up next, and it is way more complicated, I feel like, than Chicago was the first time. Chicago was a lot of 90-degree turns, pretty simple, like in terms of the layout, just tight. And this one is tight, but also very technical. So my goal when I go next weekend is just to make laps. I really just want to make all of the laps throughout the weekend, and I want to build my pace as I go, build my confidence. But I feel like it's going to be really detrimental if you push too hard in certain sections.
We'll come to the front of the room.
Scott Walsh from the Scranton Times Tribune. The 2 weeks is when the in-season challenge, second one, starts.
Oh, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. And today,
Still have that.
After this race, though, is when the points that sets the bracket.
Okay.
I was curious, just kind of maybe your thoughts going into that the second year. Is there maybe as much excitement as there was last year for it? Your thoughts on how it went last year, that kind of stuff.
Well, yeah, it's $1 million. All of us drivers want the money, so it's I think it'll be great. I'm glad it's coming back another year. I think it kind of, there's a lot of things outside of what we do that it impacts, like people just watching and all that. So I think, I'm excited for it. I think it starts at a different track this year than Atlanta. We got eliminated in the first stage, so it wasn't really that exciting for me. I was kind of thumbs down on the whole thing, but yeah, I think now that it's starting at a different place, I think will give us an opportunity to control some of that performance, and hopefully we get to the end.
We'll go to the left of the room.
William Ted Schmidt, Area Auto Racing News. You're running both the O'Reilly race and the Cup race. I'm just curious, how much of what you learn on Saturday can transfer to Sunday, given the difference between the two cars?
Just some small stuff about the track. The tire and the car are so different now. The pace here is a couple seconds different between the cars. So, yeah, there's not much I can learn other than confidence and excitement if you win, and if you don't win, you try to turn the page pretty quick. So, just thankful for the opportunity though, because I feel like staying busy and staying racing is what is best for us drivers. So yeah, I just feel like it's a great opportunity to go out there and do something and go race. And you're always going to learn racing, but the cars are so different. You have to turn the page.
We'll go to Dustin.
Dustin Long, USA Sports. William, we hear about in terms of bumps, thinking back to Charlotte, how bumpy 3 and 4 was, and how much that rattled you guys inside the car. And we hear about the bumps here. We see the video from San Diego and the iRacing. It looks like how bumpy it is going to be. We can't. I don't think any of us can have a true appreciation what it's like to be in the car. I mean, how much are your eyeballs rattling? How much are you guys going through? And does there get to be a point where enough is enough in terms of how rough these cars are and how bumpy these tracks are and what you guys go through? I mean, I don't know what you guys feel like after a race.
Right. Like San Diego, I don't think will be against that threshold in terms of like what we feel as drivers because of the speed, but it'll be bumpy for sure, but it'll feel more like a, going off-roading than it will, kind of. Charlotte is gotten pretty violent. I think there's been talks about maybe paving a section of the track that is the roughest. So, yeah, Charlotte is borderline. I think it's getting too much. Like, I love that place, but it's getting to the point where, yeah, it rattles your head pretty good. And just having conversations with people the next couple of days are rough after that. So I don't think that's good, but especially for the length of that race. So, yeah, possible that we could do some stuff there to help that. And, yeah, the way you have to run the cars now for performance is lower is better. So it's not going to get any better. Mm-hmm.
And we'll take one final question in the middle of the room.
Tim, we're Motorsports Today. I know that you're still looking for your first win here in the Cup Series, but statistically, this has been one of your best tracks. What is it that you feel like perhaps you've been missing from being in the mix in the win, and what is it that you like about Pocono?
Yeah, we've just been on the wrong side of some strategy at times. I feel like we've had the speed to win here, and the one time we ran out of fuel, we just were a lap shorter. And just, I don't know, just feel like it's a couple things here and there, but speed-wise, it seems like we always show up here with pretty good speed, and it's just, I think it fits my background. I think this place fits my kind of late model background and just, flat track, kind of what I grew up doing, legend cars, all that. So, I don't know. I also did a lot of, through the summer months, I would always be on iRacing and racing here and in the fixed series that they have every week. So I feel like that was when I had the most time. So I feel like this place is kind of ingrained somewhere back there in the memory bank of what makes speed. So, always good vibes coming here. And every time I pull in here, I feel just excited to get here.
And yesterday in the ARC race, because I know you mentioned watching it, the common consensus I got from a lot of the guys was it was bumpier than anticipated. And we've seen the last couple of weeks, especially with the left side tire, of there being, some issues. So do you have any maybe concerns on how the rear tires will handle if it ends up being bumpier than what you anticipated?
Oh, yeah. I mean, whoever has the most rear tires is probably going to win. So it's no secret. So, yeah, I hope I have more than everybody else. Mm-hmm.
All right. Thank you, William.
Thank
Good
you.
luck this weekend.